You wake up one morning, open your phone, that little glowing rectangle of judgment, and there they are, always there to bring a smile to your face. Everyone else's victories, their momentum, their progress, their timelines, all rushing forward without you. And as your chest tightens, that familiar unpleasant thought comes crawling into your head without permission, saying you should have been there by now. My friend, if thoughts like these feel familiar to you, give this video a chance. If you feel you're falling behind in the race of life at the moment, let me try to become the catalyst that will hopefully trigger the biggest comeback of your entire life. This feeling of being behind in life that's currently standing in our way. It usually comes out of three things: unmet expectations, constant comparison to others, and some unfinished business in your life. Right now, we're about to face each of them, one by one. Number 1, unmet expectations. Why do we have expectations at all? Expectations are the mind's blueprint for predicting outcomes. They help us plan, prioritize, and aim. Without them, life would be directionless. Expectations are a survival mechanism. By anticipating outcomes, we reduce chaos and uncertainty. But what happens if too much of our expectations in life, the big ones, the quiet ones, the everyday ones, become unmet? Slowly, the brain does what it always does with repeated patterns. It forms a conclusion, a cruel, irrational, but emotionally convincing one. You're behind. You're late. You're not who you said you'd become. Thoughts like this choke your forward motion and therefore don't deserve a place in your mind. Unmet expectations are your own constructions. You've built them, and only you have the power to control them. Have you ever thought about why so many of our expectations in life become unmet? Life's non-linear. Delays, detours, and external circumstances disrupt even the best plans. Your health, energy, skills, preparation, resources, timing, luck all play a crucial role in determining the outcome. And what happens to the odds if you add all of those factors and all of the other people who are at least slightly present in your plan? Does it make it impossible to plan? Of course not. You just have to make your expectations realistic. Not lower them or kill your ambition, but shape them in accordance with reality's impact. Because an expectation that ignores the real world isn't just an expectation. It's a ticking time bomb. So take an unfazed look at your current skills, energy, and constraints. Study your past mistakes honestly to make proper conclusions. Break big goals into small, more measurable steps. Celebrate your victories when you actually reach them. And adjust constantly as reality shifts. When your expectations are rooted, flexible, and aligned with your true circumstances, you stop chasing ghosts and start navigating your life path with clarity, purpose, and dignity. Next on the chopping block is the second thing that feeds that useless feeling of being behind in life: constant comparison to others. Your mind compares automatically. Where do I stand? Am I falling behind the tribe? Am I improving or slipping? Your brain runs scans like these every single day, endlessly, instinctively, and without asking permission. So the act of comparison is natural and is not the enemy. But what happens after? That's where the damage usually begins. You see, when you compare yourself to someone who is ahead, your brain doesn't just observe, it often judges. It twists a natural piece of data into a personal accusation. They're doing better, so I must be doing worse. They moved forward, so I must be falling behind. That logic is broken at its core. Their progress has nothing to do with your timeline. Their acceleration doesn't prove your setback. You're taking someone else's chapter 20 and using it as a weapon against your chapter 4. And at that moment, comparison stops being a tool for awareness and becomes a blade that you turn inward. It's a blade that cuts your confidence, your momentum, and your dignity. The most heartbreaking part is that you're the one holding the handle. Remember, there's only one person, one ruthless, disciplined, unrelenting opponent who actually deserves to be compared to you. Someone with your circumstances, your mind, your scars, and your history. The answer's obvious, yet we forget about it all the time. It's you from yesterday. That's your rival. That's the benchmark you were built to surpass. And if you're sitting there and thinking, well, me from yesterday wasn't really ruthless, disciplined, or unrelenting. Maybe yesterday's you was mid. Maybe he was drifting. Maybe he was lost in distractions, fear, or comfort. If that's the case, good. That means the version of you you're up against today is soft clay, easily shaped, easily defeated. So judge your progress by one metric and one metric only. Are you higher on your mountain than you were yesterday? And stop comparing your personal climb to someone else's elevator ride. Speaking of personal climbs, third and final reason why people around the world are feeling behind in life: unfinished personal business. I'm not talking about your trivial tasks. I'm not talking about your errands. I'm talking about the sacred items, the dreams you've shelved, the battles you walked away from, some of the things you really wanted to do, but for some reason didn't. First of all, you have to accept this fact. You will always have unfinished business. Because unfinished business is a byproduct of a living mind. Ambition, hunger, imagination, a future pulling at your sleeves. The problem isn't your list of unfulfilled dreams. The problem is when you let disappointment trick you into believing the biggest things on that list are no longer possible for you. So listen to me, my curious friend. The pain of failure after trying is real, but it is nothing compared to the silent poison of never trying at all. Regret for something you did in the past fades. Regret for something you didn't buries itself in your bones. So don't be afraid. Don't bow to the ghosts of missed chances. You have great things ahead of you, still, and you already carry everything required to go out there and get them. The climb that you thought you should have completed by now. You were never meant to reach the peak as the person you were at that moment. You had to become someone stronger, someone clearer, someone ready. And now, you find yourself here, at the edge of a new beginning that looks surprisingly like an ending. The end of useless comparing, the end of false timelines, and the end of believing you're late to your own goddamn life. So from this moment on, try to move forward with a different spine. Not rushing, not panicking, just becoming. One honest day at a time. And when you finally look back on your path, months from now, years from now, you'll finally realize the main thing. You were never behind. You were just gathering all the pieces of the person you were meant to become. Welcome to the end of the video, my friend. Thank you for staying or skipping to this part. The biggest update from my personal life since my last video is that I finally became the father of a beautiful baby boy. So one of my biggest dreams in life came true. I'm extremely happy. And these feelings, the feelings of first-time fatherhood, they're quite something. I think I'll be making a video on the topic of becoming a parent for the first time for those of you who still have this chapter of life ahead of you. But as for now, thank you so much for your time. Feel free to like, subscribe, or share this video with a friend. I really appreciate you here. See you in the next one. Bye.